Hello everyone. Today we are going to explore one of the most haunting and thought provoking anti war poems ever written, Strange Meeting by Wilfred Owen. Wilfred Owen was a British soldier poet during First World War, and in this poem he takes us beyond the battlefield into a world of lost dreams, silent suffering, and the hidden truth of war. Strange Meeting is not just a poem, it's a powerful message about the pity of war and the shared humanity between even so called enemies. Let's start. It seemed that out of battle I escaped down some profound dull tunnel long since scooped through granites which titanic wars had groined. The speaker imagines escaping from the battlefield and going down a deep dark tunnel, something ancient and heavy like granite rocks shaped by mighty wars. The tunnel gives a sense of moving into the unknown or even into the afterlife. Yet also their encumbered slippers groaned, too fast in thought or death to be bestirred. Then, as I probed them, one sprang up and stared. Inside the tunnel, the speaker sees many figures lying down, either deeply lost in thought or already dead. As he comes close and examines them, one figure suddenly wakes up and looks at him. With piteous recognition in fixed eyes, lifting distressful hands as if to bless, and by his smile I knew that sullen hall, by his dead smile I knew we stood in hell. The awakened figure looks at the speaker with sorrowful recognition. He lifts his hands in a sad blessing like gesture. The lifeless forced smile tells the speaker that they are now standing in hell, a grim and sorrowful place. With a thousand fears that Bhishan's face was grained, yet no blood reached there from the upper ground, and no guns thumped or down the flues made moan. The dead man's face shows many layers of fear and suffering. Yet hell is silent. There is no blood, no sound of guns or bombs here. It is a place beyond the battlefield. Strange friend, I said, here is no cause to mourn. None, said the other, save the undone years, the hopelessness. Whatever hope is yours was my life also. I went hunting wild after the wildest beauty in the world. The speaker tries to comfort the dead man, saying, there is no reason to mourn now. But the dead man replies that there is a reason. All the lost years, dreams left unfulfilled, and the hopelessness caused by war. The dead soldier says that the hopes the speaker still has, he too once had. He chased after great beauty and ideals, but such beauty doesn't stay in appearance or time. It mocks us by being unreachable and short lived, but mocks the steady running of the hour, and if it grieves, grieves richlier than here. Beauty and idealism don't last with time, and even if they bring sorrow, it is still more meaningful than the grief and suffering experienced in war and death. For by my glee might many men have laughed, and of my weeping something had been left, which must die now. I mean the truth untold, the pity of war, the pity war distilled. The dead soldier says that his laughter could have brought joy and his sorrow could have taught something, but now all of that will die with him. Nothing of his emotion, thoughts, or wisdom can remain. What he wanted to express was the truth about war, its sorrow, its uselessness, the deep pity that war creates. But now that truth will remain untold. Now men will go content with what we spoiled, or discontent boil bloody and be spilled. They will be swift with swiftness of the tigress. None will break ranks, though nations trek from progress. People will either accept what is left after war, or they will remain angry, become violent again, and shed more blood. The cycle of war may continue. Courage was mine, and I had mystery. Wisdom was mine, and I had mastery. To miss the march of this retreating world into vain citadels that are not walled, then when much blood had clogged their chariot wheels. The dead man speaks proudly. He once had courage, wisdom, and mastery over life. He had the strength and mind to achieve great things. But now the world is going backward, heading towards false glory or empty victories or vain citadels. These are not real achievements, they are hollow and meaningless. The dead soldier wanted to cleanse the world of war's blood and cruelty. I would go up and wash them from sweet oils, even with truths that lie too deep for taint. I would have poured my spirit without stint, but not through wounds, not on the seas of war. Foreheads of men have bled where no wounds were. He wanted to use pure truth, something sacred and untouchable, to bring change and healing. He would have gladly given his spirit and effort for a cause, but not through the dirty suffering and bloodshed that war brings. I am the enemy, you killed my friend. I knew you in this dark, for so you frowned. Yesterday, through me, as you jabbed and killed, I parried, but my hands were loath and cold. Let us sleep now. The dead man now reveals the truth. He was the enemy whom the speaker had killed in war just the previous day. He recognizes the killer from the expression on his face. He tried to defend himself or parried, but he was too weak. Now he says, let us sleep, symbolizing forgiveness, peace, and final rest beyond war. So, Strange Meeting is one of the most powerful anti war poems written by Wilfred Owen, a British soldier and poet of First World War. Owen wrote this poem in 1918 while recovering from a war injury at a military hospital. The poem was published after his death in 1919. Unlike traditional war poems that glorify battle, Strange Meeting reveals the tragic reality and emotional depth of war. It is not just about soldiers and fighting, it is about lost dreams, the waste of human life, and the deep sorrow that war leaves behind. The poem imagines a dreamlike encounter between two dead soldiers in hell, one of whom turns out to be the enemy killed by the speaker himself. Through this dramatic conversation, Owen explores the futility of war, the unspoken truth about its cruelty, and the shared humanity between supposed enemies. With vivid imagery, emotional intensity, and deep philosophical reflection, Strange Meeting moves from violence to forgiveness, despair to peace, making it one of the greatest anti war poems in English literature. Through a several conversation between two dead soldiers, one of whom killed the other, Owen questions the meaning of war, highlights its cruelty, and ultimately leads us toward understanding and reconciliation. Let's discuss literary devices. The tunnel symbolizes the path from life to death, and hell symbolizes the horrors of war. Profound dull is an alliteration by repeating D sound. Groan, stone, moan. The repetition of vowel sound is an example of assonance. Strange friend. Here, calling an enemy a friend shows the irony of war. Enemies in life, but united in death. Undead years represents wasted time and lost potential. It's a metaphor. A dead man speaks of truth and emotion more deeply than the living. It's a paradox. Vain citadels that are not walled. A citadel is a strong, protective fort, but here the poet calls them vain citadels, that is, empty or useless strongholds. Not walled means they offer no real protection. It's a metaphor for hollow pride or false hope built by society after the destruction of war. Walled retreating gives the world human qualities to express regression. It's a personification. I am the enemy, you killed my friend. Enemies are also victims of the same war. It's a paradox.